Hi team, this is part 2 on how to create a new course from scratch, but this time we're going to go over Leadpages and Zapier. So let me share my screen so that we're in the same page. There you go. Okay, so I found this landing page for HPT in Spanish that from my understanding, Dana was working on this, but it was just like a draft landing page, okay? Um, and this is gonna be our test. This is gonna be our landing page to test out the automation, okay? So say this is the landing page of your new course, okay? Um, we need two buttons, for people to sign in and get their information and stuff like that. Um, the first thing we want to do is we want to get our information inside the landing page. So you want to come up here and you're going to go to view page. I have it opened here. So step 1 for me is always to get my name, my information already in the form. And I'm going to explain to you in a bit why we need this information there. Okay. I have everything already like here. Okay. Now that we have sent our information through the landing page, we go back to Leadpages, the editing part. Okay, so our main focus on the landing page, or in this part of the editing part of the landing page, is going to be the two buttons, more info and enrollment. So go to edit pop-up, then go over here where we have the text or the box where people fill in their information. Go to edit integrations. And this blue banner is going to pop up, okay, where it says edit your form. Here, as you can see, it says choose where you want form data to go to. It says MailChimp, great, but we got to add Insightly. And how do we add Insightly? Through Zapier. So we're basically starting to adjust how Zapier is going to connect the data that comes from the Leadpages to Insightly. And a very important step is to name your form, okay? Remember that this form is for the button that we selected, but each button has its different um, uh, options and settings. So here we want to name this form new course. And again, you would put here the actual name of the course, okay? New course, new course test, more info, okay? Next field, nothing changes. Save and close. Okay, good. One step done. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other button. So go to edit pop-up, edit integrations. Same thing over here. We see choose where you want form data to go. We have our email. So whenever we get people to sign in, we receive the email saying like an email from Leadpages saying like, oh, Celeste Vargas asked for more information on, and you can see the name of the course. This is also very important. Naming the forms is also very important because this is what we see in the emails. This is going to help us know for what course is the person, wanting information for. Or what course is the person wanting information for. So we're gonna name it again, new course test, but instead of more info, we're gonna put registration or enrollment. The same thing. Next field, save and close. Okay, great. Now that we have this completed, we're gonna go ahead and open Zapier. Zapier is very slow sometimes, so we gotta be very patient. Okay, click over here where it says create, Zaps, and so I'm gonna go back to the landing page to explain something real quick. The reason why we used to have two drips per course is because we linked different separate drips to each of the buttons that we have on the landing page. So for instance, the more info drip would be connected to this button right here. Want to know more, want to have more info button. And then the enrollment drip would go linked to this button over here. However, we realized that the information and the chain of emails for both drips were the exact same information. It was the same thing. The only difference was that in the initial email that people received immediately once they signed in, the difference was that it said thank you for registering or thank you for your interest. That was the only difference in like wording. But other than that, it was the same information. So we realized, we don't need two sets of drips for each course. So in Insightly, we keep one drip per course. However, in order for the automation to work, we need to keep them separate. So we have one drip, right, for the course, but we have two buttons. So we have to create two different zaps, one for each button that will essentially be connected to this one drip, if that makes sense. So in Zapier, we do need to create two zaps per course. We need to have two zaps per course. And the way I see it, to make it easier to understand, is for every button that you want to put on your landing page, you need a zap. If you have 5 buttons for people to fill out 5 different pieces of information, you have 5 zaps, okay? In this case, because we only work with two buttons, more info and registration, we want to create 2 zaps. So we're going to start creating the zap for more information, for the more information button in the landing page. Okay, so first thing is always naming it. So again, new course, test, more info. This is the kind of like the system that we follow when it comes to naming the zaps. Pretty much everything we name backend wise goes with this system. Course name, um, and then more info, enrollment, and the year. Okay, so next step is to tell Zapier what triggers are we using. Triggers meaning platforms or apps. So in this case, we want to work with landing pages, or sorry, we want to work with lead pages, and we want to work with Insightly. So trigger 1, look for lead pages, select it. And now this is my favorite part. I honestly enjoy setting up the zaps. So choose an event. We have new form submissions. This is our event. So new forms, new submissions from people. We go down here where it says continue. We select the the center's login or the center's user is already connected, so you just press continue. Form. This is a very crucial part, which is why we always want to have the forms named. Each button has to be named. In this case, we're going to work with the more info button. So look for oh wait, before I start with this, let's let's update lead pages because we won't see the changes of the form names on Zapier or in Zapier if we don't. Okay, let me real quick refresh this so that we can see the names appear. Okay. Form. We called it, there you go. New course test, more info, new course test, enrollment. I get super happy when these things work. So we're telling Zapier, okay, we want you to work with this form. We want you to work with this button. Continue. Test your trigger. We wait. Yay. Okay. See, this is why it's so interesting. Form submission A. Zapier now identified a submission that was previously done to this specific button, which was our information. Remember, the first thing I did was fill out my information and sending it. Well, this is why we do it, because we want Zapier to identify or have an example, identify a form, or sorry, identify a submission that would help Zapier know how we want it to work with the rest of the submissions. So if this button had, more information from other people, it would say form submission B, for form submission C, form submission D, and so on and so on. But because we only have my information here, because the only information that has been put to this button was mine just a while ago, we're going to select this one. Continue with selected record. Now it's going to it's asking us what other trigger we want to work with. And we want to work with Insightly. So you click Insightly and then you select create record. Remember that we want Zapier to create a lead on Insightly for these new people that come in. Okay, create record, continue, choose an account, click choose. We always choose the center's account. In fact, if you see Insightly, C. Vargas, 0 zaps. Evo Laños, 0 zaps. All the zaps are connected to the center's email or center's user, Insightly user. Okay? Press continue. Click Insightly object. What do we want the information to transform in on Insightly? Leads. We want people to come in as leads. So we select lead. Once we select this, this is all the information that Insightly can save for us. So we're going to let Insightly know, we're going to let Zapier know what information from the form on the landing page, what information from the form in the landing page we want in Insightly. The only things we want saved are first name. So you click on first name, and this is the form that we're using as an example, which is the form that I sent before. So in first name, you want to select first name. Okay. For last name, you want to select last name. Lead source, course landing page. Where is this new lead coming from? The course landing page. Lead status, not contacted. Yeah, it's a new lead, okay? And then we scroll down where it says email addresses. We want to make sure to link the email. Okay. Then we scroll down where it says lead owner. And again, we select UPEAS, Center for Executive Education. The fields that I'm leaving in blank are left in blank. You don't have to do anything there. And then we scroll down more. We click again where it says user responsible. In user responsible, we want to also select the center. And then, okay, this is very important. Course of interest. Remember the course of interest in Insightly. Okay, you have to remember the name of the course of interest that you created. Select course of interest, and you look for your new course, the course name that you're working on, okay? And that's pretty much it. This step, when you're trying to change the dates of a course, what you have to do in Zapier is change the course of interest. But because this is a new course, we only have one course of interest at the moment. So you click continue, and then this is like a recap of what we've done, and then you test the step. It takes a few seconds, testing, and then you click publish. Publishing. There you go. The automation from this button of more info to Insightly is done. Now we have to work with this other button. that we called new course test enrollment. So we go back to Zapier and we click create up here. New Zap. If you realize, or if you see, for each course, we have more info and enrollment, okay? Again, name it. Always remember to name it. New course test enrollment. First trigger, lead pages. Event, new form submission. Continue. We're gonna identify the form that we already selected. Here, new course test enrollment. Continue. It's gonna look for a submission test trigger. It's gonna identify the submission form that we did before. Great. So we click continue with select record. Now we're gonna select our second site. We want Insightly to create a record. Hit continue. Choose an account. We want always the center. Insightly object, we want people to convert as leads in Insightly. And now we want to make sure we connect the first name of the field to the first name of our form. Then last name to the last name. Then we scroll. Lead source. Where did it come from? Of course, landing page. Lead status. What's the lead status? Not contacted. It's a new status. A new lead. Then you scroll down where it says email addresses. We want to make sure we connect the email. Oh, wait. Sorry. Apologies. Here, email. Then we want to select lead owner, the center. Then we scroll down a little bit more where it says user responsible. Who is the user responsible? UPs, Center for Executive Education. And then course of interest. Again, the course of interest is the same. Remember, the course of interest is the drip. We only have one drip for the 2 buttons. So we again look for new course test enrollment. There you go. Continue. Test step. Testing. Publish. There you go. It's all done. Now, my favorite part is to go back to the landing page and test it. So this is the landing page, what it looks like for everyone once it's published. So say I'm a new person and, oh, I'm super interested in this new course. I want information. Just put in all your information. Thanks for reaching out. Do the same thing for the other button. That phone. Oh, sorry. There you go. Save my spot. Okay, we always test. Always remember to test your whenever you automatize something. And okay, so now what we do is check to see if we received our emails. And we did. Actually, I just saw the email that we get on the center's email address about, oh, a new lead came through. And I just checked my personal email. I'm gonna click on the first one, the email that we created. Hello, Celeste. Remember the insert field? Hello, Celeste. Thank you. What did I put? Thank you for your interest in the new course starting October 2024. Best, Anthony Martin. And then the other, yeah, I received like a bunch of emails about the same thing. And again, remember that the email is essentially the same for for any of the buttons that people press. Um, However, we do create different zaps for each. So this was the tutorial. Good luck. And again, if you have trouble with selecting like the fields and everything, what I always find very useful is to open an existing and active zap, and compare. Like open a new tab and compare what you're doing to what is already done, or what has been already done. And then the same thing with Insightly. If you're doing the drip automation and you're lost, you don't know what to do, compare an existing drip to what you're doing, and it'll give you all the answers. Thankfully, you can have two or several Zap tabs open, and you can also have several Insightly tabs open, so you can always go back and use that as reference.